If you have ever seen a person with an extra hole in their ear, you might have wondered what it means spiritually. Here, we will be talking about the additional pit or hole in the ear spiritual meaning, superstition, or myths. You will also know about the superstitions and mysterious meanings of the preauricular sinus in the Bible. So, stay connected till the end. First things first, let's have a quick look at the introduction to the extra hole in the ear or preauricular pit. Later, we will delve deeper into its spiritual and biblical significance. What is a preauricular sinus or an extra hole in the ear? The preauricular sinus or an extra hole in the ear is a congenital defect that is present at birth. This condition is also known as a preauricular pit or fissure. The unusual preauricular sinus is a tiny cavity that is located in front of the ear, on the ear lobe, below, or above the ear. The sinus may just be a small indentation on the skin or it may be a deep pit. In some cases, the sinus extends all the way to the bone behind the ear. The congenital malformation of the preauricular soft tissue was first described by Van Heusinger in 1864. There is no medical consensus on what causes preauricular pits. Some people believe that they are caused by genetic mutations, while others believe that they are the result of environmental factors such as exposure to certain chemicals or viruses. Preauricular pits are relatively rare, occurring in about 1% of the population. However, they are more common in certain populations, such as South Korea, other Asian countries, and Africa, according to the Journal of Audiology and Otology. Unusual extra holes in the ear are usually benign and do not cause any symptoms. However, they can sometimes become infected, which can lead to pain, swelling, and discharge from the sinus. Treatment of preauricular sinus infections usually involves antibiotics and drainage of the infected sinus. In some cases, surgery, sinusectomy, may be necessary to remove the preauricular sinus. Common names of the extra hole in the ear. Extra hole in the ear. An additional hole in the ear. A pit in the ear. Preauricular sinus, pous. Preauricular pit. Preauricular fissure. Hole on top of the ear. The tiny hole above the ear. Hole in the ear or preauricular pit myths and superstitions. There are many myths and superstitions surrounding holes in the ear or preauricular pits. Some believe that these holes are a sign of good luck, while others believe that they are a sign of bad luck. There are also many different beliefs about what causes these holes. Some believe that they are caused by an evil spirit, while others believe that they are caused by a birth defect. Whatever the cause, there are many different superstitions surrounding these holes. Some of the most common myths and superstitions about unusual holes in the ear are: 1. Ability to hear supernatural sounds. There is a common myth that people with an extra hole in their ear, known as a preauricular pit, have the ability to hear supernatural sounds that normal people can't. But there's no scientific evidence to support this claim. If you have a preauricular pit, you don't need to worry about having superhuman hearing abilities, but you may want to consider getting it checked out by a doctor, just to be on the safe side. 2. Center of universal force. There are many myths about the extra hole in the ear, but one of the most common is that it is the center of universal force. This myth has been around for centuries and is still believed by many people today. There is no scientific evidence to support this claim, but that doesn't stop people from believing it. 3. Only special people have preauricular pits. Most people think that having a hole in the ear, or preauricular pit, is a sign of royalty or that they are special in some way. This is one of the most common myths about this type of anomaly. In reality, anyone can have a preauricular pit and it does not mean that they are anything special. 4. Psychic abilities. Another common belief or superstition of this ear deformity is that the bearers of the holes have psychic abilities. While there is no scientific evidence to support this claim, it is still a widely believed myth. Many people believe that those with an extra hole in their ear are able to read minds or see into the future. Whether or not this myth is true, one thing is for sure: people with an extra hole in their ear are definitely unique. 5. Remnant of fish ancestors. There are many different myths and theories as to why some people have preauricular pits and others do not. One theory is that it is a vestigial remnant of our fish ancestors. This theory suggests that during evolution, some individuals developed pits in their ears as a result of their bodies adapting to life in water. While this may seem like a plausible explanation, there is no scientific evidence to support it. Spiritual meanings of a tiny hole inside the ear. 1. Easily affected by others' words. If you are one of those people who have an extra hole inside the ear, you are easily affected by what other people say about you. When someone whispers something negative about you, those words quickly penetrate your mind and cause feelings of insecurity or doubt. On the flip side, if someone compliments you or offers words of encouragement, those positive vibrations can also enter through the ear and boost your confidence. 2. Self-doubt. Another spiritual meaning of a tiny hole inside the ear is self-doubt. You are the one who doesn't trust yourself and relies on other people's words to think about your ability. When we doubt ourselves, we are really doubting our ability to connect with our true selves. We doubt our intuition and our connection to the divine. When we have self-doubt, we may feel like we are not good enough or that we are not worthy of love and happiness. We may feel like we are not deserving of success or abundance. All of these feelings stem from a lack of faith in ourselves and our ability to create our reality. If you find yourself doubting yourself, remember that you are just as capable as anyone else. You are worthy of love, happiness, and success. 3. Impact of the external world on the personal life. It is believed that the unusual extra hole inside the ear symbolizes the impact that the external world has on our personal lives. This small opening allows us to hear clearly. It is a reminder that we need to be open to receive guidance from the universe. The message is that we should not let the noise of the outside world drown out our inner voice. This tiny hole inside the ear also represents our connection to the divine. It is a reminder that we are all connected and that we are never alone. We all have access to guidance and support from the spirit world if we just open ourselves up to it. 4. Extraordinary ability to hear supernatural sounds. A tiny hole inside the ear may seem like an unassuming physical feature, but it is said to have spiritual meaning. This opening is said to give those who have it an extraordinary ability to hear supernatural sounds. Some believe that this ability is a gift from the gods, or that it is a sign that one is destined for greatness. Others see it as a way to connect with the spiritual world. For those who are able to hear these otherworldly sounds, it can be difficult to ignore them or block them out. They may find themselves constantly bombarded by noises that others cannot hear. This can lead to anxiety and sleeplessness. On the other hand, some people find comfort in knowing that they are attuned to something beyond our everyday reality. 5. Mystical abilities. Some believe that having a tiny hole in your ear means that you have mystical or psychic abilities. Some say that it is a sign that you are attuned to the spiritual world and are able to communicate with spirits. Whatever the meaning, one thing is for sure, a tiny hole inside the ear is definitely something special. If you have this unique feature, you should consider yourself lucky. Preauricular hole on top of the ear. Spiritual meanings, myths, and superstitions. Do you have a preauricular hole on top of your ear? If so, you may be excited to learn that this physical anomaly has spiritual meanings, myths, and superstitions associated with it. 1. Messenger of God. The spiritual meaning of a preauricular hole is that you are a special envoy of God. This God-given gift is to bridge the physical and spiritual world. People who have this anomaly are said to be able to communicate with the spirit world and relay messages from God. 2. Bearer of psychic abilities. If you have a hole above the ear, it is said that you are a natural-born psychic and natural healer. You likely possess strong intuition and an ability to see beyond the physical world. Trust your gut instinct and let your intuition guide you on your spiritual journey. 3. Role model in the society. A hole on the top of the ear has deep spiritual meanings that have been understood by many cultures throughout history. This unique physical trait is said to be a sign that someone is a natural leader and role model in society. Those who possess this rare quality are believed to be highly intuitive and in touch with their spiritual side. They are often seen as wise beyond their years and are looked up to by others for guidance and advice. If you have a hole on the top of your ear, it is said to be a sign that you are meant to help others in their journey through life. You are a compassionate and caring individual who is always ready to lend a helping hand. You are also said to be fiercely loyal and protective of those you love. 4. Spiritual role and mission. A hole in the upper part of the earlobe is said to be a sign that one is spiritually blessed. It is also a symbol of good fortune and indicates that the person with this mark is destined for great things. Those who have this type of ear piercing are said to be natural-born leaders and are often drawn to roles where they can help others. They are said to be very intuitive and in touch with their spiritual side. This type of ear piercing is said to represent the window to the spiritual realm and is seen as a gateway to higher wisdom. Those who have it are said to be able to see beyond the physical world and into the spiritual realm. 5. Evolution mark. As mentioned earlier, there is a theory that considers the extra pit above the ear to be a remnant of our fish ancestors. It is a vestigial structure, meaning that it is a remnant of a structure that was once functional but is now useless. In our fish ancestors, these tiny pits served as sensory organs that helped them detect changes in water pressure and temperature. Over time, as fish evolved into amphibians and then reptiles, these preauricular pits became less and less useful until they eventually disappeared altogether in most humans. 6. Good luck sign. A tiny hole above the ear is usually seen as a positive omen, especially if it is in the right ear. It is believed to be a sign of good luck, and it is also thought to be a gift from the gods. In some cultures, it is even seen as a symbol of wealth. Regardless of its meaning, having a hole in the top of the ear is considered to be lucky. Preauricular sinus in the Bible and its biblical meaning. The Bible does not specifically mention preauricular sinus, but there are a few lines or passages that speak about the value of pit in the ear. Psalm 40 verses 6-8 says, "Sacrifice and offering you did not desire, but my ears you have opened, burnt offerings and sin offerings you did not require." In the Bible, Psalm 40 verses 6-8 is a very important set of verses. They are full of biblical meaning and significance, and they can help us to understand God's will for our lives. Here are just a few of the things that these verses can teach us. First, we see that God is always with us. Even when we feel alone or lost, God is right there with us. He will never leave us or forsake us. This is a promise that we can hold on to no matter what happens in our lives. Second, we learn that God has a plan for our lives. He knows what is best for us, and He wants to bless us. We need to trust Him, listen to Him, and follow His lead. Third, these verses remind us that we need to be patient. Having an extra hole in the ear, good luck or bad luck? For centuries, the preauricular sinus has been a source of mystery and superstition. This tiny pit, located just in front of the ear, has been associated with everything from good luck to bad luck. Looking through a medical perspective, it is a congenital defect, but you are among the 1% of those unique people who have this feature. So, you can consider yourself unique or special. But, if you see any changes in the pit, you should see a doctor. From a spiritual point of view, there are mixed meanings associated with the extra hole in the ear, as we have already mentioned. Therefore, it's all up to you whether to get guided by the positive or negative myths, superstitions, biblical explanations, and spiritual meanings of the preauricular sinus, or extra holes in the ear. The aim of this article is to provide you with a broader view of thinking about your life, utilizing the positive interpretations of this congenital pit, and also to make you aware of the negative meanings associated with this extra hole in the ear.
If this video resonated with you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and tap that notification bell. Stay tuned for more enlightening content coming your way. Thanks a bunch for joining us on this journey.